So in this exercise, we're going to talk a little bit about how to build a table. That table is going to be a 3 by 3, and that 3 by 3 is going to give me the ability to play tic-tac-toe. Okay? So let's first start with building our initial table. I always like to start by adding my first tag. Again, tags are built with open bracket and a closed bracket and the correct stuff inside of it. So for this, you're going to create a table. You're now going to end that table. Okay, so notice the difference between the open and the closed tags. Open tags have just brackets. Closed tag has the addition of a slash before the word table. Okay, now you have a table that does not have any rows and does not have any individual cells. Okay, so we need to add our first row. TR is table row. Now I'm going to do that again where I end my table row. And now I have a table row. It has no table cells, which is why you still can't see anything rendering in this white area. Now I'm going to put in a table division. And I'm going to end that table division. And now you're going to see the very smallest box should appear in here. I don't know why it's not doing it just yet. I'm going to hit save. You should have a little tiny box. Oh, I know why we don't see it. It doesn't have any borders. So let's add a border. Border equals 1. Border equals 1. Inside of quotes. But now you notice there's this kind of chunkiness to the border. So let's make sure that our cell spacing is equal to 0. And lastly, I want my cell padding equal to 0 as well. And you'll notice it's going to shrink to almost nothing. Basically what I've said is that I want a table that has a border with no space and no pad. And it's going to collapse to as small as it can. Theoretically, it doesn't exist. Okay? So now I'm going to put content in place. When I put content inside that cell, it expands it at least to as large as the cell. Okay, so remember, we're making a tic-tac-toe board. And a tic-tac-toe board has 3 squares across the top and 3 squares in the middle and 3 squares in the bottom. So it's a 3 square this way and 3 squares this way. Okay? So how do we get those 3 squares? Well, you got a box here. What do we need to copy? Do we copy the whole table? Do we copy just the table row? Or do we copy the table division? Okay, so there's actually, there's several ways you could do this, but the way that would be correct is the first thing I want to do is I want 3 squares across this way. Okay? And to get that, the square here is a table division inside of a row. So let me open a spreadsheet and kind of show you what I'm talking about. When I say table row, we are going horizontally. So in a table, let's do this. I'm going to build. You don't need to know how to do this. I'm going to show you what I'm trying to build. Just let you visualize it first. All right, so I've got 3 by 3, and I'm trying to build this so that I can put an X in here, an O in here, an X in here, and O right here. Oh man, I'm not winning yet. I want to, how about I do an X right here? Oh, I'm going to block it by putting an O right there. And I'm going to say, well, what if I do an X right here? Well, then I'm going to block that by doing an O right there. And guess what? I have to put an X right there. And I don't have tic-tac-toe. All right? But look at all that. All that's not, it's not centered. You know, I'd have to actually do things to center it. Well, what I'm trying to do is to build this. And let me do the text alignment so that it's centered and it's in the middle. I'm trying to get it to look like this. So how do I get this in here? Well, one way you could do it is just go File, Export to, I think I can export to an HTML. There's ways to do it from this. Okay? And you know what? If you want to go try to do that, that's fine. Build that right there. And then try to edit it in code. I'm going to show you how to build it in code. So to get this first area right here, this is a table row. Okay? This is a table row. And this is a table row. Inside of a table row, I have 1, 2, 3 table divisions. These table divisions are inside the table row. Now let's go look at the code and say that again. This table division is inside this table row. So if I need 3 table divisions inside of this table row, what I need to do is copy and paste, and now I have 3 table rows. Or sorry, 1 table row with 3 table divisions. Well, now I need 3 table rows with individual table divisions. Well, you could manually type in that TR and manually type in the end TR, and you could then put in a table division with another table division after that, where it's afterwards, and then you could put more content, and you could manually say, you know what, I'm going to put a table division with an end to that table division, additional content, and finally one more table division, ending the table division, last content. All right, now it's all there, and it was done manually. Or you could say, you know what I really need is just to copy this entire table row, copy, come to the last table row where I want to put it, and just paste. And now you see that I've got my basis of my squares. But here's where I'm going to come in and make the change. All right, I'm telling you that I want a style equals with a padding of 2 rem. All right, now if I have to go in and I have to copy and paste even that into each TD, that's a pain. So what would I do if I were doing this? I would actually not have any of these other rows, and I would have at least one of these done correctly. I wouldn't even have these table divisions. I would take them out, and I would get this one perfect. I have my 2 rem, I have my font family, font hyphen family is sans serif. And then I've got my, let's see here, text align is center, and font weight is bold. Should have all that. There we go. And maybe I even want to say my width is one 120 pixels. In this one you have to put pixels. And then I want my height, height, is 120 pixels. Now it's a square. Okay? Now that I have this correct, it is a square, it has content. I just want to copy this square. Remember, a table division is inside of a table row. How many table divisions do I need in this table row? I need 3. So I've got 1. If I add 2 more, I now have 3 squares inside this table row. Okay? So remember, I've got all of this table row has these 3 table divisions. Well, now if I want another table row inside of this table, I don't want to have to type every bit of that and remember it and get it all perfect. So instead, I copy this table row and I add another table row. Okay? The confusing part is that table divisions, they continue 1, 2, 3 inside of a table row. There's no such thing as going this direction with those table divisions. This is in an entirely different table row. Okay? So now I need to copy this table row, remember coming all the way back to the beginning before the end, or after the end of the last table row. Copy and paste. Now I'm going to have 3 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows, and each of those rows have 1, 2, 3 table divisions. This is the place where you're going to come in and you're going to take the word content, and your goal is to play tic-tac-toe. Now, I want you to play that tic-tac-toe game as if you were trying your best to win. And as you do that, you're going to notice that you've got the ability to now try to find your way around inside this box. To block with O, I've got 2 X's. He's trying to get 3 in a row. Where is this one? I know where it is. Is it this one or is it this one? You need to figure it out. Because if you put it in the wrong place, then your opposing player then will block, or will be able to get tic-tac-toe. I'm going to put it right here. There we go. I blocked. All right, fine. I'm going to try to go here, because if I go right here, I have the potential for tic-tac-toe diagonally and up and down. This is one of those places you just kind of want to be. So I'm going to go here. How do I get to this one? Remember, I'm on the bottom row, table row, and I'm in the last table division. So what I'm going to do is go up here, table row, find the end table row, that's 1. Table row, this is number 2. Come down and find the end of table row. Here's the beginning of the 3rd table row. And I'm going to go to the last 1, 2, 3 table division, and I'm going to put an X here. I got it in the right spot. Now I'm trying to go either here with my O or here with my O as a way to try to block at least one of these. So which one would it be if I were trying to get an O here? Remember, I'm in my first table row in the last cell. So we scroll up, we find our table row, we go 1 TD, table division. Yeah, it's got all this other stuff, style, but you're looking for TD. TD1, end TD1. Start TD2, end TD2, start TD3, and this TD, this table division, is where I'm going to put my O. So I've now blocked this one, but unfortunately, this fella has an X that he needs to put right here. And if he does something dumb, and let's just say he forgot, he didn't notice that he was doing, he didn't have these two ways of getting tic-tac-toe. Maybe he thought all he had was this one right here. If he comes in and screws up and puts an X right here, thinking that somehow he's going to be able to get this way, that means that if you know what you're doing, you put the O in the top table division, TD, and now you have tic-tac-toe. And so the last thing I would probably do is it text decoration? Text decoration strike through. I actually don't know if this one works. Apparently it does not. But there is a way to put a line through it. Now it will not go all the way across like this, at least not with the code that we're going to be using. But that's something you could try to figure out. So here, because this person, this coder did not know how to find the correct one or missed it, you being an expert coder will then be able to say, well, I know I want this one. So that is how you do copy and paste. And then the goal is to be able to, inside your code, find your way around. Doing this tic-tac-toe board will at least get you to be able to navigate and find your way around. Okay? So I'm going to show you this same tic-tac-toe board, paste, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find all my styles. I've got a quick shortcut that allows me to take them all out, capture, and paste. Even if you just did this, there you go. That's a tic-tac-toe board. It's not a very neat and tidy one, but it still works. Okay? Putting the styles in place, it makes it more comfortable, makes it easier to navigate, at least over here, but it also challenges you to be able to find your space here with all the extra characters. All right, that is a way to kind of, quote, find your way around and determine what the code actually is doing. And remember, all I did was create one entire, let's go to here. I just created one cell and got it perfect. That one cell perfect. Once I had it, all I did was copy that perfect cell and paste it 3 times inside of my table row. Once I had one perfect table row, I copied all of that table row and pasted it 2 more times so that I had 3 table rows. Each of those rows already had the cells put in place. Now, if you can do that, then you're already on your way to being able to build a coupon. Because at that point, now you're just simply saying, you know what? I want a table. Here's what I'm going to do. So now I have one table. Well, if I have this one table and I want to paste my one table here. Okay? So all I want to do is I want to take all of this table, copy it, and paste it inside here. Now you have a table inside of a table. Okay? But they're acting weird. They're only 120 pixels wide. You know what? You can mess around with them. take stuff out, and just sit there and try to build a table inside a table inside a table. Width, take the width and the height out. Now we've got square again. So this one right here, the inside one is the one that I pasted last. And your goal, if you do it this way, is to figure out where things are and be able to add content in place. Mess around with this. If you don't know where you are in your code, just type something and figure out where did it show up. Honestly, type something and you try to guess where it is before it shows up in the screen. Okay? Once you do that, you're going to say, well, at least I know that if I put something there, it's going to be in the spot that I want it, or it's not going to be in the spot where I want it. Same thing. There you go. So that is using the copy and paste. And at least now you know how to do that. These are exercises that will help. I hope you get something out of this. Try it out and at least bring this to class and bring questions. I don't mind going slower, and we may not get to all the cool projects I want, but at least we get to the projects that we get to, and the goal is that you learn. All right? Hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.